If people only knew just how important sleep is, they would treat it like a cure to almost anything. We've all had those few days, weeks, or maybe even months of not getting enough sleep at night. It's not fun and it doesn't feel good. Yes, some people can handle little sleep better than others, but pretty much everyone agrees that with little sleep, you feel like crap. There's a reason for that. In this video, we are going to talk about the effects sleep deprivation has on not only your body, but your mind too. But before I continue, please give this video a big like and subscribe to see more content like this on a weekly basis. Thank you. So, the effects of sleep deprivation on the body. 1. Weight gain. When you're sleep deprived, your body increases the hormone that tells you you're hungry while reducing the hormone that controls your appetite. Not a great combo. In a 2004 study, humans who slept much less than 6 hours a day have a nearly 30% greater possibility to be overweight versus the ones who slept 7 to 9 hours. Sleep deprivation has in addition proven to stimulate cravings for high-fat, carb-heavy foods, having many researchers consider that healthy, ample sleep ought to be protected as a section of first-line remedy weight loss programs. Number 2, heart disease. Sleep deprivation can have an effect on the body's potential to modify and regulate cortisol, which is the principal stress hormone. Increased cortisol often goes hand in hand with amplified blood pressure, which can lead to a host of different problems, one being coronary heart disease. Heart disease, the main reason for dying in the US for both men and women, will dramatically increase in chance with persistent sleep deprivation. Diabetes. Your threat for type 2 diabetes almost triples with persistent sleep deprivation. With everyday loss of sleep, much less insulin, the hormone that regulates your blood sugar, is launched into your body after meals. This creates a vicious cycle as it makes your body produce greater cortisol, which motivates you to continue to be wakeful while additionally making it tougher for insulin to do its job. The end result is to an awful lot of glucose in the bloodstream, which is a sign for type 2 diabetes. In fact, your threat for type 2 diabetes almost triple with persistent sleep deprivation. More specifically, humans normally getting solely 4 to 6.5 hours of sleep per night see a limit in deep sleep, which is viewed as a severely essential restorative stage of sleep, and additionally performs a key position in the body's modulation of insulin sensitivity and blood sugar control. Number 4, lowered immunity. Everyone knows that people who don't sleep much typically get sick way more on average. Countless of sleep connection researchers and neurologists have made it clear that sleep is super vital for your immune system. Without adequate sleep, your body makes fewer cytokines. Cytokines are a category of signaling molecules that mediate and regulate immunity and inflammation. This is one of the most understood aspects of sleep deprivation. Oh, well, I guess this is the real number 4, but number 4, premature aging of skin. Anyone who has pulled an all-nighter at a sleepover, who has stayed up with a fussy child is aware that a nighttime of ignored sleep can make for unwanted beauty consequences, aka makes you look like a mess, like dark circles underneath the eyes. But there's something extra physiologically tremendous that occurs to the pores and skin with greater power sleep deprivation. Persistent lack of sleep reasons your physique to launch extra cortisol like we've already talked about, which is a stress hormone that now not solely will increase blood pressure, however, breaks down collagen in the skin. Collagen is the protein that lets in pores and skin to stretch and increase while keeping a youthful smoothness. As collagen is eroded, the pores and skin stretch and it loses its elasticity. As troubling as these bodily consequences of sleep deprivation are, what is equally impactful is the way that sleep affects our mind, our intellect, decision making, and our emotions. So here are the effects of sleep deprivation on the mind. One way sleep deprivation affects your mind is poor judgment. In the plainest of terms, lack of sleep makes you stupid. A healthful quantity of sleep is fundamental to brain plasticity, or the brain's capability to adapt to input. Sleep deprivation reasons us to be unable to method what we've discovered, and we have extra bother remembering it later when we want it. Studies show that over time, human beings who are getting 6 hours of sleep rather than 7 or 8 like to make excuses to that sleep deprivation, that they're used to it. But when given intellectual alertness and cognitive tests, they proceed to go downhill, says Dr. Gurman, something like that. There's a factor in sleep deprivation when we lose contact with how impaired we are. The next one is kind of a combination of different things, but irritability, anxiety, and depression, all fun stuff, right? So over time, lack of sleep can make a contribution to the signs and symptoms of depression. In a 2007 study, people with insomnia had 5 times the likelihood of having depression than without. Insomnia and anxiety feed off every other. Insomnia is regularly one of the first signs and symptoms of anxiety, and sleep loss regularly aggravates the different signs and symptoms of depression. University of Pennsylvania researchers located topics confined to solely 4.5 hours of sleep for 1 week said that they were feeling greater stressed, angry, sad, and mentally exhausted. And once they resumed ordinary sleep schedules, they stated dramatic enhancement in temper. Okay, so we know sleep deprivation isn't good for you and we need our sleep. We get that. But what can you do to avoid sleep deprivation? Changing habits for the sake of better health isn't easy. As serious and alarming as these sleep deprivation consequences are, it takes a lot for human beings to take motion and right these behaviors in their lifestyles due to the fact that it feels overwhelming. According to current research, nearly 1 out of every 3 humans will ride occasional sleeplessness signs for over 12 months earlier than taking action. If you are experiencing any of the above issues, please contact your healthcare provider. But I hope I've convinced you that sleep is important. So if I did, please like this video and consider subscribing. And thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate you all so much. Goodbye.